You're listening to the N2K Space Network.
At Thales, they know cybersecurity can be tough and you can't protect everything. But with Thales, you can secure what matters most. With Thales's industry-leading platforms, you can protect critical applications, data, and identities, anywhere and at scale with the highest ROI. That's why the most trusted brands and largest banks, retailers, and healthcare companies in the world rely on Thales to protect what matters most: applications, data, and identity. That's Thales. THALES. Learn more at thalesgroup.com/cyber.
Today is October 3rd, 2025. I'm Maria Varmazis, and this is T-Minus.
T-minus 20 seconds to LOS T-Drift. Go for deploy. Roger, roll.
EXA launches manifested to deploy 13 satellites for customers across the world on the upcoming Bandwagon 4 mission with SpaceX. The Maldives has kicked off the $50 million Maldives Space for Islands Fund. Cosmic Shielding Corporation has been awarded a $4 million tactical funding increase contract from the U.S. Department of War. Safran Federal Systems has been awarded a contract from the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. The UK Space Agency and UK Space Command have announced a new project to detect and analyze lasers that are currently being used against UK satellites. Happy Friday, you made it, everybody. Let's dive in. The head of the UK Space Agency, Major General Paul Tedman, has shared that Russian forces have been actively trying to disrupt UK-based military activities weekly, and we're closely monitoring the country's space assets. The news comes as the British government announces new investment in sensors that will protect satellites and enhance security from attacks by adversaries. And the UK government plans to spend £500,000 on this project. The funding was first allocated as part of the UKSA's Unlocking Space for Government program, which aims to harness space to improve UK public services and strengthen national security as part of the government's Plan for Change. A UK government-commissioned security review published this summer said Britain urgently needs to bolster defenses for military space systems as adversaries improve their own abilities to attack in space. And we do hope that the new project does enough to protect critical space-based assets that are used from everything from bank transfers to weather forecasts to emergency services and intelligence operations. Safran Federal Systems has been awarded a contract from the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, better known to most of us as DARPA. The contract falls under the Robust Quantum Sensor Program, which is a key initiative supporting the Department of Defense's drive to deliver assured position navigation and timing in contested and GPS-denied environments. Safran will develop quantum sensors that are inherently resistant to environmental disruptions, and these sensors are expected to enable reliable navigation across multiple domains, helping reduce dependence on GPS and strengthening operational readiness for U.S. and allied forces. The award covers the first phase of the program, in which Safran will complete the quantum sensor development, including tests on a military helicopter to demonstrate effectiveness in one of the most challenging environmental conditions. Cosmic Shielding Corporation has been awarded a $4 million tactical funding increase contract from the U.S. Department of Defense, sometimes also known lately as the U.S. Department of War. The award includes a $2 million match from the U.S. Air Force and Space Force and will be managed through AFWERX to accelerate the development of next-generation radiation protection systems for space electronics. Cosmic Shielding's products protect electronics so that they can survive much longer in orbit with minimal bit flip errors, and they've already proven their concepts in both in-space missions, including a SpaceX launch that protected the NVIDIA Jetson Orin NX GPU, and in high-energy radiation tests on Earth. Using the new TACFI contract, Cosmic Shielding Corporation plans to develop a modeling tool that predicts how any electronic system will perform in space once it is shielded. Earlier this week, we mentioned that Axiom Space had signed an MOU with the Maldives, but we missed a big part of that announcement, and here it is now. The Maldives has also kicked off the Maldives Space for Islands Fund, and the fund is a $50 million initiative which aims to transform the nation's equatorial position into a cornerstone of the future space economy. The Maldives already boasts a strong space industry with ground stations and astronomy infrastructure, and it's already conducting a feasibility study for a potential spaceport. Yes, spaceport in the Maldives. The Maldives Space Fund is domiciled in the UAE's financial ecosystem. ExoLaunch is manifested to deploy 13 satellites for customers around the world on the upcoming Bandwagon 4 mission with SpaceX. The flight is scheduled to lift off no earlier than November 2025 from Cape Canaveral Space Force Base in Florida aboard a Falcon 9 rocket. Bandwagon 4 builds on ExoLaunch's steady growth, enabling launch access for CubeSats and microsatellites supporting Earth observation, IoT, as well as science and technology demonstration missions with customers originating from Argentina, Czechia, Finland, the Netherlands, Turkey, and the United States. And we look forward to seeing this one take off. And that wraps up today's quiet Friday news day. Let's check in with N2K senior producer Alice Carruth, joining us now for a look at the other headlines that we are watching today.
Thanks, Maria. We included 3 links in today's selected reading section of the show notes. CGTN has shared a nice article on Chinese female astronauts. SpaceX founder Elon Musk has become the first person to hit $500 billion net worth, according to Reuters. But ProPublica says he's been taking money directly from Chinese investors, raising new questions about foreign ownership interests in one of America's most important military contractors.
Oh, Elon, always keeping things interesting for us, huh? And a reminder that all those links can be found on the podcast platform that you listen to us on, or on our website, space.n2k.com. Just click on today's episode title. Hi, T-Minus crew. In case you didn't know, we post links to every episode of T-Minus Space Daily, along with the major headlines, on our LinkedIn page. Just look for N2K T-Minus Space Daily on LinkedIn and click follow to get our episodes and headlines directly in your feed every weekday and Saturday. A lot of us are spending quite a bit of time on LinkedIn lately, and surely a daily space intel briefing from us would be a nice break from posts about, Taylor Swift's latest album drop relates to B2B sales, right? Right. N2K T-Minus Space Daily on LinkedIn. Tap that follow button, and thanks. Tomorrow, be sure to check your podcast feed for T-Minus Deep Space. It's our special edition Saturday show, where we share an in-depth interview and dive a bit deeper into fascinating topics with brilliant guests. And on T-Minus Deep Space tomorrow, we have Kevin Kelly joining me, and we'll be talking about space being in the political crossroads in the United States right now, and what that means for military, civil, and commercial space. Now, Kevin was a former Senate appropriations staffer who oversaw funding for NASA, the NSF, and many other agencies, so he has a fascinating perspective on the politics of space. Timely, right? Now that's on T-Minus Deep Space tomorrow. Don't miss it. We will be right back.
AI adoption is exploding, and security teams are under pressure to keep up. That's why the industry is coming together at the DataSec AI Conference, the premier event for cybersecurity data and AI leaders, hosted by data security leader Sierra. Built for the industry, by the industry, this 2-day conference is where real-world insights and bold solutions take center stage. DataSec AI 25 is happening November 12th and 13th in Dallas. There's no cost to attend, just bring your perspective and join the conversation. Register now at datasecai2025.com/cyberwire. Think your certificate security is covered? By March 2026, TLS certificate lifespans will be cut in half, meaning double today's renewals. And in 2029, certificates will expire every 47 days, demanding between 8 and 12 times the renewal volume. That's exponential complexity, operational workload, and risk. Unless you modernize your strategy. CyberArk, proven in identity security, is your partner in certificate security. CyberArk simplifies lifecycle management with visibility, automation, and control at scale. Master the 47-day shift with CyberArk. Scan for vulnerabilities, streamline operations, scale security. Visit cyberark.com/47day. That's cyberark.com/47day.
Welcome back. Now, today marks the end of the 2025 IAC, or International Astronautical Congress, the 76th IAC, in fact, held this year in Sydney. And as you are listening to my voice, the conference has already wrapped, and no doubt a lot of attendees are either heading home or perhaps enjoying some sightseeing before heading home. Either way, preliminary reports from this year's IAC was that it was a record breaker. Purportedly, over 18,000 people were in attendance this year, which, if confirmed, would shatter last year's also record-breaking attendance of nearly 12,000. Wow. So, next year's IAC, I'm sure you're wondering, which will have the theme of the world needs more space. Yeah, I'm sure you're wondering about that one too. Well, it's going to be in Antalya, Turkey, October 5th through 9th, 2026. Mark those calendars. And that is T-Minus, brought to you by N2K Cyberwire. We would love to know what you think of our podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing space industry. If you like the show, please share a rating and review in your podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to space@n2k.com. We're proud that N2K Cyberwire is part of the daily routine of the most influential leaders and operators in the public and private sector, from the Fortune 500 to many of the world's preeminent intelligence and law enforcement agencies. N2K helps space and cybersecurity professionals grow, learn, and stay informed. As the nexus for discovery and connection, we bring you the people, the technology, and the ideas shaping the future of secure innovation. Learn how at n2k.com. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our producer is Liz Stokes. We're mixed by Elliot Peltzman and Trey Hester, with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Iben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I am your host, Maria Varmazis. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend.
T-Minus.
And now, a word from our sponsor, ThreatLocker, the powerful zero-trust enterprise solution that stops ransomware in its tracks. Allow Listing is a deny-by-default software that makes application control simple and fast. Ring fencing is an application containment strategy, ensuring apps can only access the files, registry keys, network resources, and other applications they truly need to function. Shut out cybercriminals with world-class endpoint protection from ThreatLocker.